Phone's not ready.
Welcome to Wake Up Real Estate. It is Tuesday, February 28th. I can't believe tomorrow is March already. We've got a whole bunch of stuff to dig into. It's Texting Tuesday, and I'm going to share a 3-step for sale by owner scripting process that will work great to get you into conversation. Conversations lead to appointments. Appointments lead to listing opportunities, at least in the case of for sale by owners, if you're doing it right. And not only that, later today on the channel, there is we are releasing the video replay of yesterday's for sale by owner mastermind, which we clipped down to just that portion and went into a deeper dive with that. So I want to give you the scripting process, but for those of you that are interested in doing a deeper dive, it'll be live on the channel here later today. I think at 2:00 it's set to premiere, so you can check that out. And if you haven't already, check out yesterday's short video on how to find for sale by owners.
I got some stuff about some PPC call ads I'm doing, trying to generate calls for the local office that we posted to the site yesterday as well.
Saw that as well. So stay tuned for more information and details on that. And we're also, as always, we're going to dig into mortgage and some real estate news. We're going to kick off the show with that. I actually scheduled out my Smokin' Hot Deals email.
Smokin'.
So we've got that, and we're going to show some cool new tech that Ryan built out for the purpose of getting my website to convert more and to create more conversation opportunities from that email. So we'll show that, and we can talk about in the future days, how that's going and how many conversation opportunities that yielded, et cetera. And in fact, tomorrow, what we're going to do, at least part of the day, is I'll show some of the ways that I'm promoting the Smokin' Hot Deals so that next week's Smokin' Hot Deals email goes out to more people than this week's. So
awesome.
Yeah. So why don't we jump right into mortgage rates and real estate news? And I think there's actually some positive news, some good news.
Did they come down?
We're going to share with everybody.
Yeah. So rates are right around 6.7 for the 30-year fix, 6.2, blah, blah, blah. You can see it all here. So they're staying about where they were. There was news yesterday that kind of rocked the markets, and it was around real estate. It was the pending home sales jumping.
Yeah.
They jumped 8.1% from December. Now, I just wonder if that's season, Josh. I don't know. It's just...
Yeah, so that's the interesting thing, the context there. I wonder how that compares from January 22 to December 21.
Yeah.
Any good news is welcome, right?
Well, it's welcome in a sense, but the problem yesterday, or was it Monday? What day is it? Anyway, the problem was that with signs of a good economy, that might mean more inflation, and might force the Federal Reserve to raise rates more to tamp this down. So the stock markets didn't like that for a little bit, but that's what's going on out there. But yeah, it seems like there's activity now. Everybody comment below. Have things gotten busier than they were in December? I mean, are you going to be able to eat next month? What's going on?
Well, and not only that, I'm not doing a good job as the self-anointed host here. Whatever channel you're watching this on, do us a huge favor: like, comment, subscribe, share, tag someone in your office. Smash the like button. And if you're listening on a podcast platform after the fact, please subscribe, rate, and review. And related to your question that you just asked for comments below, are things picking up? I got an email overnight. I might actually read this email because it's the kind of email that you just kind of love getting, and it is verification or proof that the kind of stuff that we do and believe actually works. And then I got a second email overnight that directly relates to the mortgage program that I mentioned yesterday. So since I brought those up, I'm going to share that. So yesterday I talked about an ITIN borrower mortgage program for individual taxpayer identification number. If you've got an ITIN and you don't have a social security number, we've got programs for that. And not so, I mean, I guess coincidentally, but just, I don't know, just interesting timing. I got an email overnight from one of my co-marketing partners. So we're doing some co-marketing on the mortgage side, which, by the way, if you'd like to chat about that, we've got it's taken us a little bit, but we've got everything in place where we are ready now to bring on more co-marketing partners. You do have to qualify for that, but I'd be happy to chat with you if you're interested. So anyway, one of those, an email went out, a co-marketed email, co-branded email from myself and the co-marketing partner. In this case, it was George. And it was just random that overnight, an email came in asking about ITIN programs.
From one of his,
I
one of
didn't
his
email
leads.
about that. What's that?
It was from one of his leads or one of his.
It's one of George's leads.
That you're working together.
Yeah, and she just, because it was co-branded mortgage and real estate, she asked, hey, just curious, do you have any programs for ITIN borrowers? We talked about it yesterday, and the universe brought one of those our way. I mean, it's just weird how that works. So that was pretty cool, and we're following up with that co-branded lead for George. And then the other email I just wanted to highlight, and these kind of emails, I think, I'm going to increase the number of these kind of emails by doing this Smokin' Hot Deals email, and you can too by doing something similar with your database. This came in from, oh no, I'm not going to be able to find it. Watch this. JBR. Okay, here we go. This came in from, she was just a prospect, a lead in my database, and she responded to a search alert email. So my KV Core system sent a property to her, and this was her reply overnight. Josh, I'm currently renting a townhouse and really looking into buying a home since the rent has increased so much that I would rather put that money into a home. I'm very new to the process and really just starting out. If you're willing to have the patience to walk me through it and be able to buy a home, that would be great. Please let me know. If you have a large clientele and couldn't take on a client that would be new to the process, I totally understand. I look forward to hearing from you, Jennifer. Now, Dean Jackson calls that a love letter, right? If you do the right things, that clients will write you emails like this, and he calls them love letters. And so I already replied to Jennifer, and this is instructive here. And I would take notes if I were you, because this has worked really well for me. So I replied to Jennifer's email with a video reply. Okay. And I had, just like I start these shows, I had my screen flashing and it with her name on it, Jennifer. I introduced her in the email to my buyer specialist, Cosette. Now, you may not have a buyer specialist, but you can still, if you're the buyer specialist, you still want to introduce yourself and create that connection with her. I also introduced her to one of our mortgage team members because that is going to be her next step. And I specifically said, your next best steps are to get with Jordan so we can figure out which special financing programs are going to be the best fit for you, and so we can get clear on your purchasing power. And then that way, once we find that perfect home, when you're working with Cosette, we'll have all of our ducks in a row and we can make that happen for you. So, you know what? Let's do this. I'm going to make that, we'll figure out how to make that available to the community here, just as an example that folks can model. And I'll also be sharing with the community here. We'll figure out the easiest way to do that. The Smokin' Hot Deals email that I sent that's actually should be going out right now as well.
So that that response, that love letter, it just keeps making me think of the strategy of preeminence, Jay Abraham stuff. Because that's what's going on. You're doing all the things that just make people come to you. And I was just Googling around. Jay Abraham actually has a nice PDF about this, 36-pager on his website. And I'm just going to post that to the community tab here in the YouTube channel. So if you go up to community, I posted the link to this nice, juicy doc.
So go to the Wake Up Real Estate channel. Okay. Just search for Wake Up Real Estate. And then you can see on the navigation bar, you got home, videos, shorts, live, playlists, community. If you click on the community tab, that's where we are focused on sharing things that make it easier for you to engage.
They're in the Facebook group, but everybody's everywhere. And if you would just give that a like if you like that resource. But basically, what this is Josh is doing all the things that make people come to him and say, "Hey, you're kind of a big deal. Do you have time for me?" Right? That's kind of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny that she was like, would you help little old me kind of thing? And of course, I mean, that's what we're here to do. Of course, I want to do that. So let's I'm going to do this. I'm going to go in this order. Actually, well, yeah, let's start with this.
Let's knock this out. The social post of the day really quick. All I did, simple property list post, Pinellas County multi-unit opportunities, live in one unit and collect rent from others to help you pay your mortgage. If you do want to attract first-time buyers, guys, and work that niche, this is a great angle. Kind of just something nobody else in your market is doing. Just curate lists and talk about the idea of financing a multi. Josh, as everybody probably knows, but just to reiterate, usually you can use up to about, I think, 75% of the income from a second or third unit to towards your mortgage qualification.
Yep.
I think that's the number, 75.
Which is a huge deal if somebody really wants to, get out of the rent trap. Right. That's a great opportunity. I love that angle. I love the angle you're taking. It's not just multi-family or multi-unit properties. It's the angle of, live in one and rent the other, which you're still going to have, investors are still going to be interested in that as well. And maybe you were about to do that, but how did you, I'm sure folks are going to wonder, how did you make the image?
Yeah, so the KV Core, when I built my squeeze link, I used the map drawing tool. And then when I created my link, let's go back down here. So when I created the short link that I shared, let's just pop that in. It actually shows the view of that like this with the square.
Oh, look at that.
So I screenshotted that, and then I hopped on over to my new old favorite tool, meme generator, right, that we talked about last week, the flip generator. And I just uploaded it there, and I put our little meme text on top of that, the Pinellas County multi-unit. Came out pretty cool.
That is very cool. And I'm going to model that today in some way, shape, or form with my post of the day. I'm going to use that exact process. In fact, I'll do the way that you created the link, and then layer that on. And if you missed the session that covered the meme generator IMG flip, that was Thursday of last week. So that was episode 14 of the Wake Up Real Estate Show.
It was the day before Cocaine Bear.
That's exactly. So Ryan is going to continue to reference that as a
B Bear, A Bear, and B Bear, or whatever.
ACB and DCB.
Right.
So that's really cool. What we're trying to give you here is, with those social posts of the day, is a variety of different ways that you can curate ideas, and then also different ways, different types of images, memes, little scrolling videos, just simple screenshots. And I think the biggest takeaway for all of you is just try stuff and see what works, which is a perfect pivot. To I was going to go with the FSBO texting script, but since I went there, I'm going to go with the Smokin' Hot Deal email, because that is me just doing something and having it as a starting point, right? And you've got to like 0 to 1 is the hardest. Okay. So 0 to 1 is the hardest. And then that is the starting place to get some data and feedback, etc. Ryan, go ahead and answer that while I pull up.
Yeah, real quick. Mostly to my personal page. You can definitely post to your biz pages. I just get a lot more engagement on my personal, but really, it's just wherever you have the most activity. It doesn't need to be Facebook.
And the question for those of you who can't see the screen is: are you posting these social media posts of the day to your personal profile or to a business page? And Ryan is doing it more on his personal profile. I personally am doing it more on my business page, and then occasionally sharing those to my personal profile. But it's the takeaway is there's no right or wrong. Just do something.
LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok.
Do something.
Wherever you're building an audience socially, wherever you like to be. Instagram, doesn't matter.
Yep. Ryan, is my screen sharing?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So we talked about it yesterday. Smokin' Hot Deals of the week is what I, at least for now, am going to call this email that I'm going to send on Tuesdays in addition to my Friday weekly email newsletter, which I mentioned briefly yesterday. Go back to yesterday's show, episode 16. In the description, there is a Google Doc with that protocol, specifically our Friday email newsletter protocol and process. You can go back to yesterday's show in the description, go find that and model that. There's a video tutorial, there's examples, there's the why, the how to, all of that in there for you. Now this is, something's wrong here, but I'll have to figure that out. It said it went to 389. Maybe it's still sending because it was scheduled to go out to 6,481. I'll figure that out.
They batch them.
What's that?
They get batched.
Yeah. Okay. So it's probably it's in process, or it's in motion, but it hasn't sent completely. So I want to share. This is version 1.0 of this idea. Now, I was honestly, I was trying to decide this morning, am I going to send this out through BombBomb directly, or am I going to send it out through KV Core and use the Core Video function that's built in? And just for the ease of getting the first one out, I decided to just do it through KV Core, because I would have had to export and import, because I have BombBomb, but I don't have the contacts in there. So, and I just, I've got so much going on that I just wanted to get the first one out the door, right? And then we can always improve. Just like your first social media post of the day, like start somewhere and just get the thing going, and you can always pivot and course correct, right? There's that old sort of analogy of a jet that going from New York to San Francisco, there's millions of course corrections along the way, but there's nothing to course correct if the thing's sitting on the jetway, right? So I was just get it out. I have 4 properties that I featured in my Smokin' Hot Deals. The video it's actually a screen recording video, but it starts with me in full, and then you can click a button and then you go to where I'm just down in the right corner, and maybe I can, I think I can show you that it starts that way, but then it starts with me live to camera, full screen, yep. And then it goes to me down in the right hand or the left hand corner. Okay, so right here. Okay, and I'm just briefly talking about these 4 properties. It ended up being about 3 minutes, and I also weaved in some other calls to action here, and I will get this entire template into the community, so you guys who are interested, you can model it in some way, shape, or form. I will say again, this is version 1.0. 0 to 1 is the hardest. What this looks like a month from now may be wildly different, but I think the gist will be the same. It'll be a video, a personal video. It'll be featuring some properties and giving people other ways to start a conversation, or to take the next step in their process of buying their first home, buying their first investment, buying their next investment, upgrading, whatever they may be looking to do. Okay, so that's the email. Now, what we're also going to just briefly mention here, and this is something that Ryan just started playing with, so we don't have a whole lot of data or feedback on this yet, but I've incorporated both in the video and on my website a chat bot that
did you link to the bot from the
oh yeah
and I'll give credit here to Ernest, who's watching. He started playing with the tool we're using here a couple of weeks ago, and it's really awesome. It does a lot of
this
cool
is
stuff.
a chat bot.
Yeah,
it's a standalone bot. In other words, you may have heard of ManyChat with Facebook, like that. That's been around for years, where you can kind of use a chat bot through Facebook Messenger. This is a standalone chat bot, which it functions kind of like a survey, right? But it's more interactive and engaging. And so Ryan, like literally, this is how Ryan and I tend to do things. He was playing around with this yesterday. He's been playing with it for a couple of days, let's say, but he was playing around with it yesterday, kind of built one out. And I said to him this morning at like 8, hey, do you think you could throw one up fast enough for me to include in my Smokin' Hot Deals email? And of course he did. And so I it's incorporated in several ways. Now, I should have also put a link to it directly in the email, maybe, and figured out a way to do that, which I will. But it is linked to the video.
Yeah, it overlays pretty prominently on your website.
Right. And so I'll show that in a minute.
Yeah.
But what happens with this chatbot is as they click, oh, we couldn't send this message. Well,
try that again, because
we're still playing around with it, and it could just be that it's my browser, because I feel like stuff is loading very slowly right now. I think it's because of screen sharing, and I don't know. I'm a first-time investor. Now it seems like it went through.
Did you already interact with the bot?
I don't think so, but it could be because I am logged into Google with the Gmail that's connected with it. Maybe. Well, regardless, more coming on this, but I wanted to show you that it's incorporated in the video here. And the takeaway is for this, that if you're using BombBomb and you're not using the call to action overlay, you're missing out, because you can overlay a call to action where in this case it's to a chatbot. You can have it so that if they tap it, it calls you. You can have it, you can send it to a different link or landing page or you know, a different spot on your website. There's lots of things that you can do with that. And, you know, is everybody that watches the video going to tap on it? No, but it doesn't cost you anything. And it's super easy to layer that on to what you're already doing.
No, Josh, it's interesting. I'm having trouble getting to it too on Landbot. I wonder if it's our screencasting software, or streaming software. But
it could be.
Everybody wants to check it out. It's on Josh's site. Just don't complete it. Right, Josh?
Yes. Yeah.
Let's see here.
So let's see if it loads up here.
If you go to that site, it should load at the bottom right. Yeah, StreamYard is wonk sometimes, but that is very strange to me. Unless Landbot's having issues, but it's just not loading anything in their site for me.
Let's see here. Well, this is the beauty of the pace at which we do stuff is you see us break stuff and just try stuff in real time. It doesn't seem.
It was working 10 minutes ago, I promise, right before we came.
Yeah. On. Well, and I also have a team site and then my own site, so maybe it's loaded on the team, but not the mine, which is a KB Core wonky.
Ernest says it's loading. I think it might be StreamYard, Josh.
Okay, it could be. It could be
weird browser stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the big takeaway here is we layered on more ways for people to engage and initiate some sort of conversation that we can then follow up with them. Okay. And Lance says it's there and seems to work. So it must be something with the streaming there. So more to come on that, because as I mentioned, tomorrow I'll have some examples and ideas of how I'm promoting it to get more people into there. So the plan is this afternoon, I'm going to create a Craigslist ad with a call to action to it. I'm going to get a vanity domain. Ryan, what's your vanity domain down there? Is it Saint Seven? You have something.
I use 727 real estate deals because 727 is kind of our exchange. You might use 717.
I think I will. I think I'll use 717realestatedeals.com. And the idea being a simple URL that you can put on a Craigslist ad, or that you can overlay on images, that you can include in descriptions on for YouTube videos, for social media posts,
and your voicemails.
Yes. Simpleshort.com that you can redirect to wherever you want them to redirect to.
Yep.
So more on that tomorrow on the actual, okay, now that I'm doing this activity, I've added this activity to my weekly protocol. How can I get more Lance, damn it. Lance is going to steal my domain and then sell it to me for a upcharge. Yeah. I'll have to come up with some other. I have other ideas. I had a different one that I was thinking this morning.
You're going to be stuck with the .info.
Yeah.
Lance is going to be squatting on that thing for years.
You make me laugh. So Mark says this is going back to the installed bot on the page, like a hello bar. And in fact, you can do that there's several ways that you can add it to your website. And Ryan and I don't know when this will be, but Ryan had the idea that maybe later this week or next week, we're going to do not on our normal show here, but like a deep dive session on a bunch of different ways to make or things that you can do to make your website convert better, or to generate more leads and clients from your website.
I would term it divert and convert, because you get a lot of these eyeballs on your site, and there's elements that you can add, sort of like this, that pull people down the path you want them to go down.
Yep. Soledad, how do you incorporate the call to action? Can you be more specific? Do you mean in the email? Do you mean somewhere else? Or maybe Ryan,
well, I think I understand the question. Again, on the specific site there on Hampton Township Living, that's kind of a script that the chat tool gives us, and it pops up at the bottom right. But basically, you can link to it from anywhere. So like I think it was Mark said, a hello bar, you can put a banner, you can put it in your email signature, you can drive traffic straight to it. It's basically just a link like any other web page. So
and here it did actually pop up for me. So I'm gonna
try it again.
I'll show it real quick. It did. I think it's just the streaming, and it's probably my computer. Yeah. But you can see it's bottom right here.
I went a little ape with the imagery.
Option for first-time buyers and investors. Click here, and it's got a fun little GIF, which is also obviously very attention-grabbing. And
I tried to go as 1999 as possible with the animations.
Nice. All right, so more on that to come, more on this idea to come in the coming days, especially tomorrow. Again, I'll have examples of different marketing posts and so forth to try and get more people to sign up for my my weekly Smokin' Hot deals of the week. Now, I've got to make good on our Texting Tuesday promise here, which is a 3-step FSBO text script that you can get into conversations with for sale by owners and start scheduling appointments today. Now, I actually used this script myself yesterday morning prior to the show, and I plan to use it even more today. With yesterday, I reached out to all the Cumberland County for sale by owners available right now, and today I'm going to reach out to the Dauphin County ones. There aren't that many. In Cumberland County, there were 13, and if I take out some of there was like one commercial property for 5.5 million and a couple of land listings, which I did reach out to. Anyway, it's not a whole lot.
Were you doing it, or do you have like an assistant do it? Or
Nope, I was actually doing it yesterday because I wanted to have the real-time experience and feedback for the mastermind session that we did yesterday, which again we're releasing on the channel here 2 Eastern today. So the replay of that, which is a deeper dive into this script and some other thoughts or ideas around it. But this script is super simple, and this document will add to the community as well, so you can go and make a copy of it or just use it as it is. And this script works by phone or by text. But the reason we started texting more often than not is, even though for sale by owners are in theory trying to sell their home, many of them still don't answer the phone, just like, sometimes we are, reluctant to do that. But what I did yesterday was I called first, and then I sent a text follow-up referencing the voicemail. The script process is very simple. Hi, this is Josh with eXp Realty. Is your home at blank address still available? So number one, we're confirming, is it still available? And it gets the for sale by owner talking. Yes, no, maybe, whatever the case may be. If you want to leave off the fact that you are a realtor up front, that's up to you. I like to just get it out of the way. It's Josh with eXp Realty, whatever. If it's yes, the next step of the script is something along these lines, and we've got a couple of different variations. Terrific. Are you willing to pay a 3% finder's fee? Or awesome, if I brought you an acceptable offer, would you be willing to pay a 3% finder's fee? Now, words matter. Finder's fee is just a fancy or a clever way of saying commission. And some will say, oh, do you mean like a commission? And that's fine. Some will ask, well, what's a finder's fee or whatever? But it gets the for sale by owner talking. Now, if they say yes in any way, shape, or form, okay, we were thinking 2% or 2.5%, or we're willing to pay a flat fee of X amount. The next step in the process is to go for some kind of appointment. It could be, if this is happening by text, you may want to schedule a phone appointment. You may want to schedule a Zoom appointment, or you could just go for a tour of the property, try and schedule a tour of the property. The other, and we've got some different ideas and variations in here, and some archived responses. So for example, awesome, thanks for that. When could I come take a quick tour of the property? And if they ask why, well, I like to have firsthand experience and knowledge of the property before we go sharing it with our buyer database or our buyer clients. So this little scripting process works great. There's lots of variations. There's lots of examples in this document. And we'll get that added to the community as promised. And what I can tell you is, though I full transparency, I'm not a FSBO master, though I have listed a few FSBOs over the last 30 months, say 2 or 3. There aren't many for sale by owners in my market. It's a rural area. And I get a little bit distracted from time to time. But I can tell you that a regular listener of the Wake Up Real Estate Show, Laura Stoddard, she has taken this original 3-step script and she has made it her own over the last 2 years. And she kills it with for sale by owners. So just like the email idea that we shared today, and just like the social media post of the day, start with something that works, or that has worked on some level. Start to take action and then make it your own from the feedback and the data that your market provides you, that you will never know unless you actually get started taking action and doing something to create conversations or not, right? If it doesn't work for you, find a pivot around that in there. So this is a great follow-up question. Would you use these FSBOs in your smoking hot deals?
Yeah.
This is perfect because in my video, I actually mentioned the fact, and in the text at the bottom below the on market, I mentioned the fact that we have several off MLS opportunities. I stole Ryan's word. Several off MLS opportunities. And 2 of them referenced were conversations I had from the day before with the for sale by owners that agreed to a commission or a finder's fee, but weren't interested in listing yet, right? And so the last thing I'll say about that scripting, and just in general, with for sale by owners, conversation, appointment of some kind, then demonstrate value to them, which earns the opportunity to list the property if they decide that that's the next best step. Don't try to convince them by telling them, that they're, whatever, by telling them the failure rate of for sale by owners and how they're going to lose money, blah, 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 right? Instead, have a conversation, try to get some level of appointment, and find a way to be of value and service. Now, how to demonstrate value? Well, I go into a deeper dive on that on the longer video that we're dropping on the channel later today. But let me give you one idea or one specific real world example that was the first for sale by owner listing that I took when I reactivated my license in 2020. I had a conversation. I used this exact script, had a conversation. I got an in-person appointment to take a tour of the property. And during that appointment, at the end, I kind of did the Columbo thing where it's like, oh, hey, by the way, do you have disclosures filled out on the property? Because in Pennsylvania, you have to have a seller's property disclosure. And if it was built before 1978, you need a lead-based paint disclosure. And this one was built before that. And he said, oh, no, what do you mean? Right. And my item of value, or the way of demonstrating value, was I simply sent him, when I got back to my office, I sent him blank copies. Hey, whether or not, we end up working together, you're going to need to fill out these disclosures. So here they are, so you can be prepared when you start getting offers. And that was a way for me to build some reciprocity in his mind.
That's a very interesting. I wonder if Ernest is still listening, because he might like this idea. But what if we mailed 2 new FSBOs in our market? What if we just mailed a link to download the disclosures with some kind of language that said, I love that. Now, wildly enough, some states don't require that. Like Virginia, I don't even think they have to do disclosures. So it may be something where you have to customize it, but it could be as simple as, include the link that you want to send people to.
But the other way, and I know I'm doing a lot of teasing and foreshadowing, but I think I haven't confirmed it yet, but I believe next Tuesday afternoon, I'm going to have a special guest on here who's got a very unique seller lead gen platform and listing platform. And one of the unique things about it is a free listing, a free listing portal for sale by owners, which you can then give to them, which is a way that they can, most for sale by owners are relying only on Zillow, and Zillow can get them some exposure. But what you can do with the portal is they can upload more images. They can allow buyers to schedule showings right in there, right? So, but I like this idea of Expiromatic, but for sale by owners, and giving them something of value.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. You could just send them. You could just send them a link to the thing you're talking about as well. Hey, you should list your property here. I almost like that better than the disclosures because it's a little more straightforward. The value they get out of it,
right? Right.
The benefit. So
this is great, Lance. Cool. How about taking a real buyer on the way to what you have scheduled and give them some feedback?
Yeah, my wife. I do it all the time.
What's that? Yeah.
Exactly. A family member. yeah. That's not nice, but yeah.
But no, I think so. Often the conversations are, do you have, like, for example, one of the ones that I followed up, do you specifically have a qualified buyer who wants to buy my house? And the answer is yes, but I don't know. They haven't seen it and I haven't seen it. And yeah, you've got some nice pictures, but it's not the same as looking at the house. So, do I have somebody that's going to write an offer sight unseen? Probably not, but I do have someone who might be interested. So, taking the next step in whatever.
Josh, I don't work a lot of FSBOs and never have, but I assume that as long as that interaction is positive, even when you get the no, as long as you leave the conversation with them kind of liking you in some way or feeling like you're a hustler, there's a benefit in that because you're going to get the call in 3 weeks when they fail.
And if they've agreed to pay a buyer commission, and I've got a database of buyers, why would I not send that out and try and get it sold? Because if I list it, I'm going to get whatever. If I sell it, I'm going to get whatever. It's I'm getting paid either way. I don't have to get the listing to justify making those contacts to for sale by owners, because it's just another property in your internal inventory or database that you can have at your fingertips in a very low inventory environment, right? So that if they've agreed, that there's no reason that you shouldn't try to get a buyer for it. And the other thing is, it's going to be, in many cases, easier to negotiate with that for sale by owner, because most often they're not going to have as many offers as they would if it's on the MLS, and they're not as savvy. Not that you're going to take advantage of them, but you can take the leadership position in that negotiation or transaction. So anyway, 3% of something is better than 0% of the same thing. 100%. Absolutely. So, and Ernest says, my very first listing was a FSBO that turned out to be a small builder, which still to this day gives me 10 new listings a year. Right. You never know. Awesome. In fact, the first listing that I got was an investor who was flipping the house. The first for sale by owner, the one that I referenced where I gave him the disclosures, it was his first time flip, right? And he hasn't done another transaction with me yet, but he's on my investor list. And at some point, we'll do another transaction, in the future for sure. Okay, we've we've tried to keep these 30 minutes or less, and we just get going. And next thing we know, we're 35, 40 minutes in. Tomorrow's show, we're gonna talk about promoting and building the database around the Smokin' Hot Deals weekly email. I'll also have some more stats and data. Did I get anybody to reply? Did anybody engage with the bot? Things of that nature. We'll do our social media post of the day, mortgage rates and news, and our normal witty banter and great commentary. So thanks again for for all of the great comments and the interactions, the thoughts and ideas. If this is your first time checking out the show, please subscribe to the Wake Up Real Estate YouTube channel. And if you're listening on a podcast, please subscribe, rate, and review. Lance says, my mission is to make it hard for you to keep it under 30 minutes, squeezing the juice out of you guys. Well, we appreciate that very much. And the old anonymous Facebook comment, which I wish we could figure out. Thank you for your time and knowledge. Well, we appreciate that. Will you share with us how you created the bot? Soledad,
actually, Soledad. Yeah, coming soon. One of the reasons we're using this platform is any bots we build and test, we should be able to easily share with you guys to just copy into the bot platform. But more on that soon.
We want a proof of concept first, and then there's a way for us to easily transplant it into your business. And for those interested, and if it's available in your state, we could even work them from a co-marketing perspective. So we can take the cold leads and bring you back warm referrals. So great question, and more to come on that. Just as a reminder, and Ryan, really emphasized this point yesterday in his the video that he put on the channel about Google pay-per-click to get phone calls and Facebook pay-per-click. A lot of what we're sharing is us testing. So be patient until we say, this is a winner, let's roll, right? Let us
actually,
be the guinea pigs or the test dummies.
Actually, what I hope, because I hope some of you guys go and fix the things we're doing. So we're sharing because we all benefit. It's kind of like a mastermind. You might see us doing something. You might say, hey, why don't you try this? Or why don't you do it this way? So feel 100%. Free to comment and let us know what you think.
So thanks again. If you have anything between now and tomorrow, let us know. If there's anything we can help with, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back. Same bat channel, same bat station tomorrow morning.
Great. See you guys.